Welcome to Inbound Agency Journey, episode number 100. Demmer, we made it, buddy.
Whoop, whoop.
We are officially 100 episodes in. Well, we're 99 episodes in, and then however this recording goes. So I guess we'll just take it from here and see what happens.
I got faith in us, brother. This far in, we can pull this one off.
Hey, it is Monday today, the 10th of April, 2017 already. We're a little over 2 years into the podcast. We haven't quite been exactly every week, but pretty close, and especially here lately, hitting our stride with the weekly podcast. But that means that we are a week away, 8 days away if you're in the U.S. from tax day, which I think got pushed to the 18th this year. I think the latest it could possibly be because the 15th falls on a Saturday, so it's a weekend, so it gets moved to Monday. And then because Sunday is Easter, happy Easter as well to everyone, then the official holiday is on Monday because we can't have an official holiday fall on a weekend, obviously. So tax day, the 18th.
You can't do holidays on weekends except,
Right.
You need your day off.
So anyways, I figured we'd just lead with that, a little happy Easter to everyone, followed up by a slam in the opposite direction with happy tax day.
We're just firing people up right now, Greg. Come on.
We sure are. So you guys may be a little down. Tax day's coming up. There goes all that hard-earned profit you made last year. Just kidding. But if you're in the U.S., a substantial component of it. And so we thought we'd try and bring you guys back up here. So Dimmer and I were talking about what we could do in episode number 100. I don't think that we've ever given anything away on the podcast before, have we?
We gave away a book once. This is seriously taking it to the next level, though.
We've given away.
I should correct that. Carl Sakis gave away a book. Sorry, Carl. Didn't mean to take credit.
We have had some like early access or free access to different things and resources, mostly from the guests. I don't think that you and I think we've been pretty stingy through 99 episodes. So we're turning over a new leaf. I threw out the idea of giving away $100. Dimmer said, no. We can't do 100.
I said 100 times 100.
That's right. So what we're going to do today is we are going to give away $10,000 worth of DoInbound products. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that, I'm assuming. Maybe you're not. If you're not interested in free stuff and awesome resources to help you grow your agency, maybe just tune out of this week. What do you think about that, Dimmer?
Well, they're not interested. I don't know why they're listening to us right now. So I don't know. It's up to them.
There you go. So first of all, let's just start this off with thanks for listening. Thanks for being a part of our journey for 99 episodes so far. However many of those you've actually listened to this point. If you're just starting off and jumping in, welcome to the podcast. But we appreciate it. Appreciate the questions, the comments, the notes, reviews that we get. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to walk through what we're giving away. Now, we kick this around. What do we give away? Do people like it when it's one huge grand prize? Do people like it more when it's separate but separate prizes? There's multiple chances of winning. So we have multiple chances of winning, and we'll get into that. So, Dimmer, we're just going to take these one at a time here. I'll give you the resource, the product that we're giving away, and you give me a quick overview of it for people. We'll kind of just walk them through basically the journey of an agency and what phase of your agency these resources are aimed at. And we'll rock and roll from there. So why don't you lead us off here with the very first product we're giving away, and I'll let you intro that one.
Yes, this is one. It's a product I've wanted to create for a long time because this is the product that I wish was around when we started Guava Box back in the day. And this is one thing that we were just talking about before hitting record here was like going back to the days when we had just set up our in-person office and, all three of us were on it full time for the first time. And just what a crazy time of life that was, like the lessons learned in there and everything. And like, wow, if we just knew what we needed to do, we could execute pretty good. But like the problem was we were too busy stubbing our toes and going out and trying things and failing and losing clients as a result. But if someone would have just given us a roadmap to say, hey, go through these things, fill out these sheets, have these conversations, create this vision, say yes to these things, no to these things, we feel like we would have been on a much better track. That is what Inbound, or that's what the Agency Framework Masterclass is all about. It's designed for the agency that's kind of in the early stages trying to get going. And so it could just be you as the owner sitting there. It could be you and one other person. And you're trying to just figure out, how do we put a plan in place to get us where we want to go. It's also designed for the person who's got an agency that's seen some success but wants kind of a reboot. You've done enough to know how to do it, but you're not quite sure how to operationalize everything, put repeatable systems in place, and really scale it to the next level. So if you are in either of those situations, check out Agency Framework Masterclass. It starts first with the owner and the vision that you have as an owner for where you want to take your company. Like, why are you investing all of this time and energy building this business? Because there's jobs out there where you can go and work and make probably the same amount of money, probably a lot more money for a different kind of work. But there's a reason that you're doing the entrepreneur's thing. So what is that reason? Let's put that on the wall, understand it, never forget it, and put all of our other decisions around that. Next is bring the core team around that vision and get everyone united around that, listening to them, crafting a shared vision so that you're all moving in the same direction. Then we flow down into selecting a niche for your agency, how to build out your agency organizational chart, how to set goals and a structure for goal setting, and then a structure for following through on those goals so that every 3 months you're moving step by step, closer and closer and closer to your 1 year goal, to your 3 year goal, putting all those pieces in place to take your agency from where it is to where you want it to be. We've had a couple people piloting this right now, and we're getting great feedback so far. And if you're listening to this live right when it comes out, you're going to be hearing more about this course here. In the coming weeks, we're going to be doing kind of an announcement rollout from it. And I'm so fired up about this because there's nothing out there that's covering it this in depth for agencies. And I think, Gray, like just having the background as agency people, we kind of know what the journey's like and what would have been helpful then. So that's a great place to start. But hearing from people who've gone through it, that just gets me fired up to know that like this can change. It can just bring clarity to that point of life where you just feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, absolutely. The Agency Framework Masterclass, I think that one of the things I'm excited about with this launch and from the feedback that we're getting is we've kind of got beta testers going through it right now. It's just like with our other courses and products that we have out there. It's not just information, not just videos, not just text, but that there's some tools and like actual tangible resources that you can use in your agency operations every day to go along with it. So I am really excited about that. To celebrate here, we are going to be giving away, as part of this giveaway, one free license of the Agency Framework Masterclass to one lucky agency.
Whoop, whoop.
One of the things that Demer just mentioned there is this masterclass is going to be launching here shortly, depending on when you're listening to this podcast. It may have launched or it may not yet. If you are on that launch list, you're hearing about this and you take advantage of an early offer, purchase it, and sign up for it. If you also happen to win the giveaway here, then guess what? You get all your money back. It'll be a tax refund that comes way faster than the federal government.
Beautiful.
So,
and this agency
number one.
Agency Framework Masterclass, it's $1,000 value to get into the course. It's going to save you a massive amount of time to get in there. If you want to be a part of that launch process and just learn more about it, just head over to DoInbound.com. Make sure you're on our email list. Download one of our ebooks, and you'll be hearing from us here soon about that. So, what do we got next on the lineup here, Gray?
Number two. I was hoping you were going to lead us right into number two. Do you want me to spoil it for people?
Oh, yes,
Shall we do the long, awkward podcast pause?
No.
Okay. Number two, possibly our most successful training product to date.
Definitely.
This is, you've heard us talk about this before on the podcast. You've heard time and time again from podcast guests talking about the importance of this and the value from this. But this is the Let's Game Plan training course. It's really, training course is kind of a misnomer. Training course is at the core of it, what it is. But there's a lot more that I'll let you get into. So give us the overview on Let's Game Plan, Dimmer.
Yes, this is a peach. I love this training because this is what, When agencies go through this, they get a light bulb moment, and it changes the way that they sell, changes the way that they scale their agency. Let's Game Plan. It's a $4,000 value to get into the course, and the reason the price point is there is because if you turn around and you sell one game plan as a result of this, you're positive ROI right there. So let me take a step back and talk about kind of the client journey that we recommend that folks go through. Instead of trying to go in there and sell a 12-month or a 6-month retainer without trust established with your client, lead with a discovery project, and not just selling them a strategy, a piece of paper, but walking them through a process where you expose the entire organization, representatives from the entire organization, to Inbound and how it applies to them and how it changes their life, because this is the only way you're going to get buy-in across the organization. We've got to tap out of the marketing department, tap out of just the president's inbox, and be talking to everyone at the organization and unite them into this content creation plan. So we've got this kind of partnership that comes together between you and your client. Your client gets the industry expertise. They understand the problems that they solve, or they probably wouldn't be in business. You understand the inbound methodology. You understand how it works. What you need is a bridge to connect those two things together, and that's what Let's Game Plan gives you. It is designed to be a 3 to 4 week process with your clients. The hinge that really dictates how long this is going to take is how many personas you're planning on delivering for your client. But it's a series of workshops, and it's a series of conversations with customers, with prospects, doing surveys, like collecting data, and then the end result that you're presenting to your client is first they've got the whole experience, but they're going to have a breakdown of exactly what inbound would look like for them. What would their inbound funnel look like? How are they going to nurture leads down the funnel from the first opt-in down to the point where they're closed as a customer? You would have that whole outline, one funnel for every persona in that game plan. You would also then go forward and have one campaign outlined for each persona as well. So you know how you're going to attract these people in using blogging, using email, using all of the tactics that we have out there. But this creates a powerful shift in the conversation, because no longer are you talking to your client about, we need to be blogging, you need to be on LinkedIn, like you should try Facebook ads. That's commoditized servicing at this point. You're bringing the conversation up 3 notches and talking strategy with them right out of the gate. So you sign the client up to a low commitment offer. Typically, we see these things selling from between like $3,000 and $8,000, depending on the number of personas. Again, you can sell them for a whole lot more. We've had customers sell them for $10,000 right out of the gate. So it's really up to you on how much you want to push this. But it opens up an opportunity for a dialogue with your customers that you couldn't get to otherwise. And that's really what brought us to this point, is we were going in trying to communicate the value of a 12-month retainer, but the client really didn't even understand what inbound was all about. So put the game plan in the middle there, and it creates that bridge that allows them to get to know you, allows you to get to know them, allows you to create a much more accurate proposal for, like, these are my recommended next steps, what you should do after the game plan. And it teaches the client to pay you. Great. There's just it's like win, 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 win when you think about all of the different touch points that are brought into the game plan process. Tons of customers here at DoInbound have implemented them and are closing big retainers off of it. So it's a gateway. You're not just tied to the revenue that you get from the game plan, but what is your next deal, and the deal after that, and the deal after that. It's kind of the first domino that falls in the sequence.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's obviously been huge for us, and that I have spent a lot of time on the sales side of things, and we talk about this a ton over there, but just the ability to shorten up the sales process substantially by going into this. You're not trying to pitch a retainer up front and get paid basically for 80% of what used to be my sales process.
Yep.
Is awesome. So the fact that once we built out the game plan, the fact that I could do a call, and more frequently these will close in 2 calls, sometimes 3 calls, but like an average on my side of things was a 2-call close for people. But the fact that you could get on a call, spend an hour with somebody, and close them on a couple $1,000 game plan was just like mind blowing to me compared to what we'd initially started doing. So I love this course because it's not only how do you build this out, all the strategery and pieces that go into actually building out the game plan itself, but it is how to sell it, how to position it and sell it in the first place, how to build it, and then what that conversation looks like on the tail end of the game plan as you're presenting this to the upsell into what comes next for that client, and how do you, because obviously, if you can close a business on an initial sale in a couple calls, that's great, but no one's in this business to try and make $5,000-$10,000 at a time. We're trying to streamline this into a long-term awesome client relationship and partnership. So there's a ton that goes into that. There's a lot of details about that. If you just Google DoInbound, Let's Game Plan, you can grab all the resources or just go to the website and you'll be able to find that find that as well. DoInbound.com/Let's Game Plan training course. So to celebrate here, episode number 100, we are going to be giving away one copy of Let's Game Plan at a 40% discount. I'm just kidding. Yeah, to you guys, congratulations. You have to pay for it. No, this is a totally free giveaway. So this is something that we've poured a ton of time into, that a ton of agencies have gone through and been really successful coming out of this in their case studies on the website and really around the web at this point, of folks who've done this well. So we're going to talk about anybody who's been successful with this specifically. Want to give any shout outs here?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Ryan Shelley. He's been someone who's gone through the training. He's got a testimonial on the blog just about how it's helped him kind of change his agency up, going from like $50,000 before he started it to $250,000 afterwards. Once you learn how to do this, you understand the principles of it, changes the way you sell everything. So I'll give a shout out to Ryan there. He's been an awesome friend to the community. He's talked to a lot of agencies who've been considering going through this. So yeah, he's a big one. We've got so many folks who've kind of came into this like thinking like, what's that trigger that gets me to the next level? What's that thing that I can add in here to kind of change up the way I'm doing, differentiate myself from everyone else? And that's where the game plan's been really helpful, because it gives you the that value add to take you to the next level. Brendan McDonald's another great one from Yellow B-Dub. He was on HubSpot's partner podcast a few months ago. And Brendan, if you're listening to this, man, shout out to you. Hope you're still growing and scaling. But he's added game plans to his process, and it's transformed the way he handles the whole sales process, gives him much more confidence, and then it just upsells into additional revenue from there. So lots of other case studies there, more on DoInbound.com if you head over there. There's 2 examples, great people who are just crushing it with this strategy right now.
Cool. So again, we are giving away a totally free agency license of Let's Game Plan. Included in that, like I mentioned in the Agency Framework Masterclass, there's like full template of what the game plan actually looks like, a ton of resources and tools and templates built out for how you actually go through everything from email scripts as you're running through some of the process to actual full template of the game plan itself, so that you have an example and a framework to work from. You don't have to reinvent the wheel to get these up and going and implemented quickly at your agency. Which leads us into the sales side of things. Dimmer, talk to us about the agency sales system and what we have in that product.
This guy, and this is probably the number one pain that we hear people talking about when they come to do inbound, is I need a sales system. I need some way to just close some more business. This is crazy. If I just get in the room with the prospect, they're going to be sold. It's going to change their life. But that's the confidence of the entrepreneur, man. I love that. The agency sales system is designed to give you a leak-proof sales funnel. So if you're doing inbound well, if you're generating inbound leads, if you're doing good outbound prospecting, if you've got a niche selected and you're targeting that niche, you need a system to make sure that you have multiple touch points with every lead that you're working with. So the agency sales system helps you put that leak-proof funnel in place, gives you the habits, the processes. It's all modeled through the HubSpot CRM, but you can apply the principles to any CRM. We just use that as kind of our common language, our common touch point there. But in addition to giving you the system, it shares it with you through the lens of positioning the game plan as your next step offer. So instead of a sales process that could lead to just absolutely anything, it gives you the principles to lead them towards a discovery project. And the game plan can help you close a big website deal. It can help you close an eventual long-term inbound partnership, a long-term video partnership, whatever it is. You want to lead first with discovery. That's the central principle. Don't come in there with your prescription pad already filled out. The game plan is your opportunity to get to know the company and what they really need. and then prescribe that solution for them through the game plan. So the agency sales system is designed to get you set up and running, make sure you've got multiple touch points with those leads, make sure nothing falls through the cracks, because you got a lot on your plate as you're growing your agency. And if you're at the point where you have a salesperson, you want to make sure that they have a process in place because you're paying them to grow your business. So agency sales system is great for someone who has a sales team and they're trying to get them to all follow the same process, or if you have to keep the plate spinning yourself. And this will definitely streamline your learning curve and give you something to hit the ground running with some repeatable processes there.
Absolutely. You guys can learn more about what goes into that course at doinbound.com/agency sales system. And we are going to be picking a lucky name out of a hat here
Whoop, whoop.
to win one free license of the agency sales system training course, plus all the resources that live inside of that. So,
yeah,
Dimmer, that leads us up to
one thing I want to add.
Final. Oh, go ahead. You cut right in.
Agency sales system. It is a $3,000 value to get into this course. If you close one deal as a result of having this funnel in place, you pay for that guy. So that's kind of the value prop here. Is the more and more time you've got the system in place, you're becoming more and more profitable because every lead is getting followed up with. Stats show it's the fourth and fifth touch point that people actually get responses. So make sure you're not just emailing your prospects once or twice and forgetting about that, but just moving down through the list right there. And I'm going to open the loop here for you all. We're going to be sharing with you how you can put your name in this hat later on in the episode, so stay tuned. Gray, I apologize for cutting in. You may continue.
Hey, that's okay. We're gonna dive into we'll do this one pretty quickly and then get right into those details on the giveaway itself. But this is a not previously released. There are a handful of agencies who've had the opportunity to go through this as part of a cohort. But this is a training course that has come out of that. And Dimmer, I want you to give us the overview on this not yet before released training course for people.
This one's exciting. I think there's 5, maybe 7 agencies that went through the cohort last fall. The course is complete. It's getting ready to be launched in a couple months here. It's called Inbound Funnel, and this addresses the pain of a scalable infrastructure for your automation. So you have a challenge as an agency owner of taking your clients' prospects from the point where they're at the awareness stage of the buyer's journey and getting them down to the decision stage of the buyer's journey. That's a big challenge. There's a lot of education that needs to happen there. But you also need to pay attention to the person who comes into the funnel at the consideration stage. They don't need to see all of the top of the funnel content. They're a much more engaged prospect by the time they enter your automation tool. So you've got to give them the process to follow through and implement everything right there. So Inbound Funnel is designed to be the next step after Let's Game Plan. You build a game plan for your client. You understand who their target personas are. You understand the questions that those personas ask. As savvy marketers, that's what we center everything around is who are we talking to and what do they need, and then we're going to provide the value there. Inbound Funnel gives you the infrastructure to put into HubSpot, to put into Drip, to put into SharpSpring, to put into whatever tool that you're using to funnel by persona. Because the common pain that a lot of agencies have is there's a model that's out there for nurturing campaigns. And it involves a massive amount of work. And you go out there and you create a decision stage content offer. Then you create some consideration stage content and an awareness stage content. And this is all premium gated content. This stuff takes a long time to build this out. Then you build lead nurturing emails that bring you down the funnel from one content offer to the next, like stair stepping down. Then you do it from the consideration to the decision. And then you build the workflows for all that. And now you've got to go up to the top of the funnel and build all these blog posts that point towards this ebook. And then 3 months later, you got to do the whole thing over again. That's a broken and it's an antiquated system. Inbound Funnel puts a brand new lens on this process of nurturing your leads, and it's completely persona-centric. We want to understand who we're talking to, put them in a bucket, and drop them into a semi-static funnel that's growing over time, but it's established from the first day. And so if you're interested in figuring out how you can deliver more value through your marketing automation to your clients and doing it in a way that's scalable, because everything inside Inbound Funnel is optimized for the process. It aligns with the game plan. It positions you for the next phase of inbound campaigns. And it's going to make life a whole lot easier because you make sure you're dotting the I's and crossing the T's early in the client engagement. And we know, Gray, how important momentum is with new clients. If we close a game plan and they're fired up and ready to go, we can't sit around and wait for 6 months to show results. We've got to show them fast. And so inbound funnel is designed to help you grab that low-hanging fruit in the first 2 weeks, get that out there, and then continue to build out the rest of the funnel as you move down the line. Dude, I'm fired up for this process. I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little excited right now. But it's going to be a game changer for people.
You need a glass of water and an oxygen tank after that rant.
I feel like a linebacker who just returned a interception like 90 yards.
Even if I hadn't seen the content and hadn't heard the feedback from folks who went through the cohort group, I would already have a strong premonition, word of the day premonition, that inbound funnel was going to be a very successful product, because what we hear over and over and over and see so many times in the agency spaces, agencies really do a pretty good job at top of the funnel stuff. Blogging is like, that's the easy go-to for people and has been for 5 years now. And it really, it does still work. You can still drive traffic from that. But how many stories have been like our early ones at GuavaBox, where it's like, I thought we were getting results. Like we grew their traffic, and they have no clue what the bottom half of the funnel looked like. What did the whole funnel look like? Did any of those people convert? What was the quality of those? And you need to have a system to address the whole thing. And this is what agencies, like, this is one of the big flaws of agencies, is they're really good at producing the easy things to produce, or relatively easy things to produce, which is the traffic, and really bad at producing the actual sales consistently for people. So you need a process where you can trust, you have confidence going into your sales process that whoever this is I'm talking to, if they make it through my sales process, I'm going to actually be able to deliver strong results for them. And this is going to be a positive return for that client. So I'm really excited about that course. Go ahead.
This is sweet, because when you think about funnel, the thing that comes to your mind right away is emails. Like, I'm just going to be dripping these people every 3 days, they're getting another email. Inbound funnel is different because it gives you the framework and the infrastructure to deliver that personalized experience. And we build this through the HubSpot platform. So just like the agency sales system, you can apply it to any platform that you have, but we walk through HubSpot as our example because we're HubSpot users, so that's our common touch point. But we teach you how to segment your database based on persona. Then you deliver a consistent experience based on the activity that they demonstrate. So the consistency comes through their email, comes through the smart calls to action that they see on the website, comes through the smart content sections of your website. So you've got multiple touch points that's giving them the same experience, making them feel at home, making them feel known, and giving them that Netflix-like feeling where the more time I spend on this site and the more time I interact with these people, the more they get to know me and the more personalized this thing becomes. So, I mean, that's great that tools can deliver that experience, but this is the framework to actually help you do it over and over again for multiple clients in a profitable way. No one's talked about that yet.
True. Well, let's quickly give people, so with Inbound Funnel, we are going to be giving away a free license to that course as well. So totally free for one agency, one lucky winner. So we're going to now give you, those are the 4 products. So quick recap, we've got Agency Framework Masterclass, we've got Let's Game Plan, the agency sales system, and Inbound Funnel. We are, for the first time here on the podcast, giving away free versions of all of those to lucky agency winners. So what's the process to get your name in that hat? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. It's pretty simple. Go to doinbound.com/100. That's step number 1. All the instructions will be there. It's an 11-step process that you have to go through and a couple hurdles to jump over. Then just input your credit card info and we'll be ready to rock and roll. I'm just kidding. It's actually really easy. Once you go there, you'll have a link straight from there to take you to iTunes. Step number 1 is just going to be rating and reviewing the podcast on iTunes. And step number 2 is just going to be filling out the form that is on that page, doinbound.com/100. A couple quick and easy answers to shoot in, and you're registered. That is the registration process. Now you're probably thinking, well, that's great, but when do we find out who won? And is this something I have to wait a year for? I remember, this is totally a tangent. I remember back in college, a company who was like a pretty early stage startup, they ran a contest and they were giving away, I don't even remember what it was. It was like a new MacBook or something. And at the time I was like, wow, a new MacBook, let's go. This is awesome. But I was kind of surprised because it was people who I knew and they were a pretty young company. And they had when we reach, I forget how many, it was like 250,000 registrants or something. And I was like, you guys are never, like, your Facebook page has 400 likes right now. Like, you're not getting to this number. And I was all disappointed. So anyways, we're not going to do that. This isn't 250,000 registrants, and then we'll give this away. This is just time-based. So we will be announcing the winners of this contest on the May 1st episode, Monday, May 1st episode of Inbound Agency Journey. So you've got a couple weeks here to get registered. You are welcome to invite multiple people from your agency, other friends, to register. Certainly look forward to seeing some of the responses that come through, and are excited to celebrate the podcast, the fact that we've made it through 100 episodes, the fact that you guys have been with us and contributed so much to this podcast. And so I want to give back, not just with the content of the podcast that we produce, but also with some more in-depth resources here. Dimmer, anything I missed that you want to add in there?
No, nothing you miss. It's just, this is a really exciting opportunity for us to make it to 100. That's really cool. We started out, we didn't really know where this was going to go, but it's resonated with people because we're all in the same place. We're all trying to grow our agencies, get it up to the next level, and together we can get there faster. And that's what all these trainings are designed to do. They're designed to shortcut your learning experience, to give you the resources, the frameworks to hit the ground running and see results faster. You know, if a training program doesn't allow you to do things faster, what's really the point? And I'm really thankful for you guys for listening to this podcast, for giving us kind of the opportunity to share these guests with you. I love hearing the stories from people. Grant and I were just chatting before we hit record that, you know, the other night I was manning the chat on our website, and someone came through who says, I've listened to dozens and dozens of your podcasts, and that just made me really happy and really excited. I feel like I've got a friend there that I've never met before. But, you know, because we've got listeners all over the world, it's just really, really cool to be here. And thank you for cutting some time out of your day to listen to this podcast and to kind of help us along this journey. And we hope that this content that we've shared over the past 100 episodes has been helpful for you as you grow. And I can't wait, Gray, to see where people go over the next 100. It's gonna be. I don't know what we're gonna give away when we have episode 200. We're gonna give it $200,000. I don't know.
Let's go.
You see how I escalate things here, guys?
I do. 20 times. Let's go. Cool. Again, the landing page, doinbound.com/100. We appreciate you guys sticking with us this week. And that is, I think, all we have. So happy Easter to everyone. Enjoy this next week. Take some time off over the weekend, and we will come back and you will hear from us again in episode 101 next Monday. Have a great week.
Thank you for listening to Inbound Agency Journey. You can find the show's notes for today's episode at doinbound.com/podcast. Again, that's doinbound, all one word, .com/podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, head over to iTunes to subscribe or leave us a review of the show. Until next time, remember, life is a journey. Keep moving forward.